Ça moi qu'après les matins, qui mange moins aimé, qui musique moins qu'à côté, ou pas ça va, ou trop occupé, comme étant moins qu'à serrer, moins pas carré. Et tant pis pour moi aussi, c'est moi-même qui choisis, et souvent moins qu'à dormir, et le soleil qu'à pointer.
We've all heard of don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Well, today I'm going to make this make absolute sense in the realm of spiritual work. Online, you see a lot of spiritualists that post 24-hour results, 7-day results, 21-day results, and a lot of people think this is a reality. I'm going to say this is absolute nonsense, absolute BS. Not to say that work can't take a turn in those time frames, but realistically speaking, no man knows the hour of the coming of the Son of Man. But listen, just to get back on track, when I say that no one knows the hour, basically when you're doing spiritual work, there is no I can dictate or say when this is going to take effect. We can only give a educated guess and say, okay, well, from my previous experience and listening to what you've told me, or from what I've seen in a reading, I would estimate that this is when certain things may take form. But that's not always going to be correct. It's not 100%. And this is the thing that a person has to take into consideration when they start talking to clients about doing certain spiritual work. See, the thing is, for me, I tend to have a rational approach to the things that I do. I don't necessarily go off of readings because I like to be clear with a client so that we have an understanding of what's going on. See, when people get caught up into the readings and spiritual stuff, you know, there is no way the client can prove. So this is why I say, get your facts together, have a means to know what's going on with your target. Because when we do work, there is no question, without a shadow of a doubt that this is what's transpiring, because you can see with your two eyes. When you're dealing with readings and you don't have no facts to go off, basically you're left in a realm to believe. You are believing what someone's telling you, and most times people can deceive you. But now, getting into the meat of our conversation, which is time frame, you have to understand this, is that when you're getting yourself involved into work, you gotta know what you're stepping into, because this shit takes time. If you're looking for overnight results, you know, well, you're going to basically be put down. You know, if you're thinking that things are gonna transpire within 2-3 days, well, you're looking to be upset. Prepare yourself for that. If anyone's promising you that, I'm guaranteeing you that it's a scam. It's something that people play on. People in this community are very impatient. So therefore, for someone to say to them, okay, well, I can guarantee you that you will see results and you send me this money here, and you don't see nothing. See, the reality is people don't want to hear that certain situations take time. People don't want to hear that, and it's not marketable for a lot of people. We live in a world where people are not taught to have patience. We're taught to get everything now. We're not taught the virtues. See, back in the day, we were taught virtues when we were coming up. Nowadays, we're just taught grab and go. A lot of people don't have character anymore. When you say a person's solid, what does that mean? It means a person is imbued with virtue, honesty, integrity, patience, trust. You know, we don't have people that are built like that today. Today we have shells of what human beings used to have. The meaning of keeping your word doesn't even exist anymore. I swear to God, I promise you this, and people don't even keep their word. So we're living in a society where the execution of patience is not taught. It's not ingrained into people. We're just taught, this is, you know, to TV. We even watch these shows, whether it's the old show Bewitched. She twitch her nose, and things just happen. And this is what people think of what magie is. You know, when you start talking about magie in a practical sense, some of these things can play themselves out for years. Some can play themselves out for decades. It all depends on what you're trying to do. And this is the reality that a lot of people don't take in consideration before they do work. And this is why they run into the, I don't see nothing. It's been 2 weeks. I don't see nothing. It's been 4 days. It's been 5 days, or it's been a whole week. I haven't seen nothing. What you think? This shit is supposed to happen overnight? I say to people all the time, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Because I can speak to a person in advance and say, listen, you better be willing to strap yourself in for a couple of months. Not to say that it's going to manifest in months, but I want to prepare them for the worst. I want to prepare their emotions for what they're going to have to go through. You're going to have to sit, and you're not going to hear the person, whether it's revenge or whether it's love. You're not going to, if you don't have any contact with the person on a love note, you're going to have to be at home. You're going to have to be by yourself for a bit. Because sometimes, depending on the type of work that you get, some restrict you from going out to have a good time with any other person besides the person you're working on. And in some, you're free, but it all depends on what you get, what you get. But this is the crazy thing about the situation, is that you're going to have to sit, and sometimes you can be so in love with the person, even though you don't have restrictions for your work, where you don't have the restriction of not being able to deal with anyone else. Because your heart is so consumed with love for that person, you're constantly thinking about that person. Some people cry at night. Some people, they break down, because they miss this person so much. Their attachment is so strong to that person. And some people, they can't do it. They can't do it. They cannot refrain from not picking up the phone and calling that person, which they're not supposed to. If I can tell some people, do not contact the person, and they'll do it anyway. They'll do it anyway. And then they wonder why the person curses them out when they call. I always say to people, in this game of patience, if I call you, I don't know if you want to talk. But if you call me, I know you definitely want to talk. When you're up constantly, pushing the envelope, you're not going to get anywhere. Your impatience is going to be what ruins you when you're in this game here. You got to have self-control. You got to have patience. You got to be able to do the time. I know it's going to drive you fucking crazy. You don't see nothing going on. All these crazy thoughts just pass in your mind. Somebody fucking your girl. Somebody going out with your girl, or whether somebody fucking your man, and this and that. You seen all these pictures they posted on social media, and it's heartbreaking. But that's what comes with the territory. And this is what separates prisoners from those in the free world. When a person brags about going to prison, it's because they brag because they show that they're strong. 10 years didn't break them. 10 years in prison didn't break them. Some people even do a year or two in solitary confinement, and it doesn't break who they are. So they got the right to brag and say, I'm a solid motherfucker. That's what that means. So when it comes down to spiritual work, you got to look at it the same way. Where I can sit, I see a clown-ass spiritualist dissing me on social media, okay. We're going to see what's up with that. I got all the time in the world to sit and wait. I don't give a fuck if this shit takes 3 to 4 years for to tear your ass up to pieces to the point where you broken down to nothing. IVs in your nostrils and the whole 9. You know what I'm saying? You got to be play with a full deck, and you got to be in this motherfucker to win it. So with that said, I conclude this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.